He's on the outside.
That one is.
Is he? Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances. My name is Yamiche Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I hope you watched the show on yesterday and that you enjoyed it.
It's just yesterday.
It was just yesterday. Hope you.
No, not. I mean, it's just yesterday, not on yesterday.
On yesterday.
On yesterday doesn't sound right.
Can you say good morning since you want to correct my English?
Good morning.
She rocking rough with the Afro puffs. Y'all remember that? Let me tell you something. This little girl here, she gonna correct my English. I hope you guys enjoyed the show on yesterday.
On yesterday does not sound right.
She said it doesn't sound right, but that's what we're going to say. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the show on yesterday. I hope you shared it. I hope you got something from it, which is the most important thing of all.
Where's that pen of mine that you took?
Which one? The blue one?
No,
I don't have
the black one. It's kind of like this. I think it's...
Oh, here.
No, that's
because this one doesn't write good.
This one is the one that I gave you for the car, but my other one.
Those the only ones you've given me.
No, because it's in your room.
Miss Kimberly said, looking good, Rosie.
Thank you.
And can you come over here? Because our shirt says wild and free, and I told her the pearl earrings look really good. Can you tell Kim that she's feeling all of herself? Every bit of it, but that's okay.
That's how you have to do.
Come over here and tell them they can't hear.
That's how you have to do. If you're going to look at you gotta feel good.
There you go. And you heard it from a 14-year-old. When you look good, you feel good. Tell them, Rosie. That's my baby. We're waiting for my Fearless co-host to come in, and then we will get started on this Fearless Morning Show. What is it? Why don't you call your Aunt Tiffany right now? Call her. Rosie has the giggles. Oh, Tiffany, Rosie is calling you because she just got your text message, and all she did was, and she's staring at me, and she is giggling. So I told her to call her Aunt Tiffany because Aunt Tiffany has traumatized my child. Aunt Tiffany is on. Why don't you tell her you traumatized her?
I'm very...
Yeah, so thank you, Tiffany, for early morning shenanigans once again. So that's how we're gonna roll today. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining the Fearless Morning Show. She said confidence looks good on you, Rosie.
Thanks.
Rosie has an abundance of confidence. If from a very early age, she always said, if I'm not fabulous, I cannot leave the house. Your grandmother said good morning.
Good morning, grandmother.
And we've talked to grandmother this already. She said that is going to make your day great, Rosie.
It really is.
She said it really is. I have a feeling that her entire high school is going to see that picture. Guys, in case y'all let me tell you this as we waiting on Lynn, and then I will go ahead and start my thought if she doesn't come in just a second. So I don't know. We'll take a second to talk about hair. I cut my hair off. So my hair used to be in the middle of my back, and my front came to about
longer than that.
Yeah, about right here. And I cut it all off. There it is.
I personally think it looks really great.
I cut it all off because I had wore it straight for 2 months, and you know, if you're natural and you wear your hair straight for so long, you have heat damage, and so I got horrible heat damage. And so Saturday, I took the scissors to it and I cut it all. This is as long as my hair is ever, and it used to come so much further down, but that's okay. It's going to grow back. I'm thinking about getting some braids. If anybody wants to recommend a style, I think I'm going to get some braids put in before I don't have to worry about it. I'm not getting sister locks. Everybody wants me to. I'm not, because I am committed to my comb and my brush. I shall keep them. So that'll be a negative. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm finally able to get in, guys. I don't know what's going on out through here. Maybe it's Hurricane Florence trying to give me some problems. Not exactly sure, but it's okay. I made it in.
Good morning, Bree. Have a good day at school. Auntie love you. That's me. All
Oh.
right, go ahead, Miss. Go ahead, Miss Lynn. How you feel? I was just telling them while you was coming in that I cut all my hair, and now you can really tell it. Like this is all of my bang. I feel like Michael Jackson with the S curl right there.
Oh, don't do it, JoJo. Don't do it. I can't this morning. So, it's extremely humid out here this morning. So if it starts raining and you guys see me just take off and the camera's just down by my side going back and forth, you know why. And that's exactly why I have
Good
this
morning,
hat on
Coco.
today too, trying to help out because the humidity is like, I'm sure you guys know it's excessive. You're probably dealing with some rain showers and all of the bands from Hurricane Florence yourself. Well, good morning, everyone.
Good
Thank
morning.
you.
Let's get the show on the road.
How you
We at
doing?
7:22, y'all.
Alrighty. So, guys, our quote for this morning, I thought this was a good one to share today. This is by Rita Davenport. And she says, money is not everything, but it ranks right up there with oxygen.
Hey to the man.
I thought that was a good one
Amen.
because people will quickly come back at you and say, well, you know, money is not everything. Yeah, I know it's not everything, but the other side of that coin, though, is the people who tend to say that really don't have any money. So they quick to jump to that defensive mode. Now, I don't want to step on nobody's toes this morning, but it is what it is. You can get mad if you like. And you're not going to like everything that I had to say this morning either. And that's okay. Because somebody got to have some courageous conversations with you guys so you can
That's
start
right.
doing what you need to do. So I'm going to, how do they say? I'm going to borrow some slang this morning. I want to put you on blast. All right? I'm going to put you on blast this morning. And the topic that I want to talk about is why you need to start saving now. Okay? Why you need to start saving now. And the reason I chose that as a topic is so that we understand why it is that we have these conversations. These are true confessions, financial confessions, and conversations about everyday life. Okay? So the two key elements to creating wealth, guys, for us, number one is time. Whether you want to believe it or not, time is an important element of you being able to create wealth, as well as your rate of return. Those are two things, time and rate of return. They're very important when we talk about creating wealth. And you say, well, Lynn, why those two things? Time is very important. I don't know if you've heard Einstein's quote. Albert Einstein basically says that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Yes? He says it's the eighth wonder of the world. Those who understand it, he who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. Okay? And that's some very deep philosophy once you actually get into the gravity of what it is that he's saying. So time, and then the other part of that is rate of return. And you say, well, Lynn, I'm doing good, right? I'm saving my money so that I can invest, which is what you're supposed to do, right? But there are some things that you have to do in addition to that if you want to truly do what you're called to do. Let's just be honest about that, okay? So in looking at, I want you to get this concept of a lily pad and the way that a lily pad grows across a body of water. So there's a lily pad. A lily pad typically grows in 10 days. So this lily pad is underwater, and in 10 days time span, it's going to take up this entire body of water. So when would you say half of the growth of the lily pad will be complete? If a lily pad grows in 10 days, how much of the water will be covered on what day, right? So if we look at the growth of a lily pad, the average person would say that on the fifth day, right? Because half of 10 is 5. They would say on the fifth day, the lily pad would cover half of the water. When in actuality, that's not true. That is not the truth. Half of the lily pad has not covered the water until the 9th day. Okay? On the 9th day, half of the water is covered, And then on the 10th day, all of the water is covered by the lily pad. And you say, well, why is that? Because what we think about, we think of linear growth. We think of, you know, basic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as we think of these concepts and these processes. But in actuality, it's not linear growth, it's exponential growth. And I hate to get so, you know, classroom mode on you, but it's time to learn these real lessons so you can understand truly how to make your money work for you. See, many of us have missed this part of the education, therefore it has resulted in our miseducation, okay? So in looking at that, because we know that money grows exponentially, I don't know if you recall the exponential growth curve. That was a concept in biology 1 in high school. The exponential growth curve kind of looks like a J, right? It starts off really slow, and then it starts to increase, and then all of a sudden, shoom, it goes straight up. That's how your money grows, right? When it's invested in the right opportunities. So that's why the 2 reasons that I gave you earlier, time and rate of return, are so extremely important when it comes to talking about make your money, keep your money, and growing your money, with an emphasis on growing it. The other thing that y'all are gonna hate this morning, but I'm gonna put it out there anyway. Do you know who has the best opportunities for time and growth right now? Those are our children. Think about your children or your grandchildren, whatever the case may be. There are significant opportunities for our children. Did you know that there are retirement accounts that you can start for your children? I just told you that time and rate of return, we need effective rate of returns, y'all. I'll get to that in a moment. But time and rate of returns are on our children's side. See, we don't want to hear this. We don't want to hear this information about being able to start up a retirement plan for our children while they're small. We don't want to hear that because we say, why? We haven't even started it for ourselves. Well, this is what you do, because I understand that, right? I understand that some of you may not be in the position today. It's okay if you're not in the position today. Don't continue to stay in the position that you're in so that you cannot do this. And you say, well, Lynn, this is some far-fetched thinking that you're trying to throw over here at me. What I'm also trying to get you to think about, and I just want to put this out there for you. Inside of these e-trust accounts for the kids, this is the retirement account for your child. You can start a retirement account for your child for $5,000. And do you not know, if you put that $5,000 into a trust account for your child at oh, let me see what kind of dog is this coming down this hill, because she got him, yeah, let's see. And looking at those, so I'm gonna keep talking, trying to, and looking at your retirement account for your dog, I couldn't tell from a distance. I couldn't tell from a distance what he was, but so I was just a little bit cautious. But anyway, in setting up these retirement accounts for your children, there's tremendous opportunity for you to be able to pass on generational wealth without you having to do a lot, okay? Without you having to do a lot. And then some people will come back and say, well, you know what? I want my child to be able to do some of these things on their own. I'm not going to give my child everything, and I'm not asking you to give your child everything. I'm not asking you to do these things for your children. I'm simply asking you to think about the options and the opportunities, right? Get your retirement accounts in order, yes, but also think about these opportunities. And if it's not, it doesn't all have to be funded by you. They have birthdays, they have Christmas. They can take that those monies that they're given from those opportunities, and now put it in in that trust account. It doesn't always have to be only on you. It's about how do you think about the opportunities. Good morning. How do you think about the opportunities that are available to you so that you can now position yourself differently, okay? See, the earlier you start, the more wealth you can attain, the more that you can set your child up for success is what I'm trying to say to you this morning, right? And some of y'all don't want to hear that. This is too high level thinking for you, but I need you to level up this morning. I should have started the conversation out that way. I need you to level up this morning. Come in with an open mind and say, now what can I walk away with today that's going to help me to do something different? Have you ever in your days thought about creating that for your child? Anything of that magnitude, of that nature? See, it's about thinking about things that we haven't thought about before. What are the possibilities? But I hear you. Some of you say, well, doggone it, Lynn, I don't even know when I'm going to be able to retire, right? I can tell you when you'll be able to retire when you choose to. However, you must start saving for at least 30 years to be able to retire on your funds that you've now set aside, if you've effectively set it up so that you can get the proper returns. So have you started? If not, then you have to do some things that are different, that are going to propel you, right, so that you can live the lifestyle that you want to in your retirement. So you won't be someone who retires and then recognize, I got to go back to work because I cannot now afford, right, to not work. And there's nothing wrong with that. So a lot of people don't even want to retire because when they get out and they retire, they say, you know what? This is not for me. I don't want to just sit around. I have to get out and do something, right? And that's okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I'm talking to those who are looking for something completely different. And not only are you looking for things completely different for you, but are you looking at things completely different for your children and for your grandchildren? See, we have to do things differently. We must. We must start doing things differently. You say, well, Lynn, this is some outside of the box thinking for me this morning. So let me help y'all out. I'm going to give you something to Google so you can go and look at this. It's called the Rick Edelman E-Trust. Rick, R-I-C, Edelman, E-D-E-L-M-A-N, E-Trust. Go and look it up. That's how you can start that account, that retirement account for your child, okay? Just start reading, get an idea, Google the concept in it. Just look at the concept and say, okay, right? It'll help you to start thinking not only differently about what you're doing for your child or for your grandchildren, but also what are you doing for yourself? How are you setting yourself up, right? To now be able to invest, to set yourself up to be able to do the things you want to do, because ultimately, guys, it's about make your money, keep your money, and grow your money. How do you build generational wealth? How do you leave a legacy, a financial legacy, right, that you can pass on to your family without having to do too much? That's an option. That's an opportunity. But many of us won't look at it like that. We'll say, no, I'm not going to give that to my child. I'm not going to do that for my grandchildren. I had to work hard. They need to work hard, right? This is what I say to you today. Work smart, not hard. See, there's a difference. If you don't have those effective rate of returns, it does you absolutely no good. No good to do the things that you're doing that are positioning you to go where you need to go. So you say, well, Lynn, I don't even know how much it is that I need to retire. Let me help you out with that too. So you need to think about what is the amount that you want to have? What is the annual amount that you want to have in retirement? Do you want to have $50,000 a year? Do you want $100,000 a year? Okay, that's the annual amount that you would like to have in retirement to be able to continue to live your lifestyle. Now what you need to do is add a zero on that, right? Add a zero onto that and then double it. So if you say I want $100,000 a year, add a zero onto that and then double that number. Okay. So I see, Kimberly, can you read that for me, JoJo?
It says Jarvis prefers online banking, but I think he needs to learn to use a check register like we did before there was online banking. Do you agree or disagree?
A check. Oh, you mean an actual pencil and paper to write things out?
Yeah,
So
and then
I
balance, balancing your checkbook with the registry.
Sure, I do see value in doing things the pen and paper way, but you also, it depends on your child. How does your child learn best? A lot of it goes back to the individual person. Just because it was good for mommy and daddy doesn't always mean that it's good for the little one. It does help them. One of the things I do know that helps them, and it depends on the age of your baby, Kim. I'm not sure how old your baby
He's in
is.
college. He's the first. He's going to college now. This is his
Oh, but
first year. He
Lord,
just graduated.
yeah, what he can handle that, but he has to be intentional in actually looking at the numbers. See, he's in college now. He already has those basic concepts. Like for my little one, I had to start it out with him with actual cash, right? He's at a younger age. He needs actual cash. We actually write things down. We actually print out his statements from his bank accounts as well as his statements from his investments account. He looks at all of that, right? And we go in with our highlighter and we highlight things and we do that. And he also has an online account, so he can log in online and actually look at where is his money in stockpile, what's happening. See, because of the time that we live in and because things are moving this way, it behooves us to make sure that we stay on top of, right, all of these technological advances. Some people are pen and paper people. Some people are, using apps and all of these other things. It depends on the individual person. Whatever works best for you as an individual, that's what you do. So that's what I highly recommend when you have that conversation with Jarvis, Kim, is to ask him, which does he prefer? And chances are he prefers online banking because this is just the computer tech, give me a gadget generation, right? If there's a gadget available to get it done, they'll use it and be more likely to do it. Just like the old school way of going to the ATM was what we were accustomed to. But my mom at the time, when we were teenagers, we were going to the ATM using our cards. She was like, I don't know about going to use that machine. See, she was old school. She was of the mindset that I got to go in the bank, actually talk to the teller, have a relationship with the teller. Then me, I'm like, what do I need to go to the bank for, right? I don't actually have to go into a physical bank. Dare I say, most of the banks are closing down. So it's that generational thing. It's what we're growing up in that we're accustomed to. So yeah, it's up to each individual, right? How do you learn? It goes back to the classroom again. What's your basic learning style? Are you tactile, auditory, visual, or kinesthetic? Do you got to do it with your hands? Do you have to see it? Do you have to hear it? What is it? Right? You got to get it how you learn best. So in looking at your having this opportunity to have these conversations, not only with your children, but also decide how much it is that you need to retire to, because you need to figure out what are these opportunities that are available to me, right? What are these opportunities that are available to me that are going to help me to make my money, keep my money, and grow my money? Make your money, keep your money, and grow your money, right? At the end of the day, that's the name of the game. No money is not. Oh my goodness. That tree doesn't look like it's going to last very long. I would go back and show y'all, but y'all were picking at me yesterday talking about I was on the nature trail with the wildlife. So I won't even go there today. But yes, guys, you have to make sure that you focus on this and do it the way that's most beneficial to you. So in your retirements, you got to start thinking, how can I save? And you say, well, Lynn, how much do I need to save, right? Because I haven't started yet. How much do I need to save? Guys, at this point, what I want to say is you save until it hurts. Okay? And if you say, well, Lynn, I don't have anything right now, try to do 1% at least. Start out with 1%. If you say 1% and you find out, you know, after a couple of pay periods that you didn't miss your money, go ahead and level up. Go to 2%. Right? If you do it with 2%, you didn't miss that money, go ahead and raise it up to 3%. See, it's do or die season right now, y'all. It's do or die. You save to invest. You don't invest to save. So make sure you get that first and foremost. But you must have effective rates of return in order to build the life that you would like to live, right? By the time you reach retirement. The number one thing you need to take away today, guys, is you have to get started. And I get it. That's why, y'all, I get it. That's why I'm America's #1 financial rebound coach. I get those feelings that you can have. There are feelings of being overwhelmed, right? In the current situation, because you're trying to do these things, you're going through all of these hardships. I get it, but just recognize and identify the fact that these hardships make you who you are. That helps to build your character, that makes you who you are, and you don't want to change who you are. But you do want to create the future that you want to live, right? And in order to be able to do that, we have to do some things differently. And in doing things differently, I'm challenging you today. Go back and look at the replay, but go back and think about not only your retirement, but also your children and your grandchildren. How can you help them to get it set up? These are simple, right? These are simple things that you can do. And that's true. That's true, Carl. Everybody's there preparing for the storm in North Carolina. And that's okay. Prepare for the storm now so that when it does hit and you don't have any electricity, you do have something to think about. You say, well, doggone it, now it's time for me to think about what that financial rebound coach said, because it ain't nothing else for me to do right now, right? Start reflecting on some of those things that you have going on. Now, that may not be the case for everyone, but for those of you who are, get prepared now, right? Just like you prepare for that storm, you prepare for your future. And isn't that amazing? We'll prepare for all these things, but we won't prepare for our own futures. Right? Thank you for posting that up, Carl. Guys, but just know that if you get started on this today, if you get started a year from now, you'll look back and say, it was not the end of the world. It was not the most difficult thing that I had to do. I just had to do it. Mm-hmm. And you grow the most, right? Those times when you learn and grow the most are when you're going through something. And many of you are going through things. You're going through things. You lose family members. You lose a job. See, when we go through, if we grow through, right? That's when the big change happens. Okay? That's when the big change happens. So make sure, guys, that you're getting mentored by someone who's leveling up. Get the information from someone you respect, someone who's successful, someone who's doing those things that you're not doing that you want to do, okay? Because what you think is a big deal today, not going to be a big deal tomorrow. Yeah, there's some storms coming up in our lives today, but live through it, right? It's not going to be that big of a deal tomorrow. And also ask yourself, have I done everything that I can possibly do to get through this? And if your answer is no, then keep on trying. All right, guys, I'm Lynn Dimmons, America's #1 financial rebound coach. Yeah, I said it, America's #1. That wasn't funny.
Oh, he said you swim with the storm.
Swim through it. Well, sometimes you got to swim through it, Carl. I get you. No, it wasn't funny, but it kind of was. But I'm on this hill, y'all, trying to procrastinate. Hey, I'm on this hill trying to make it. But y'all, right, yes, I want to pass it over to my co-host. But if you're ready to have that conversation, go to bit.ly/talk-to-Lynn. All right, Miss Co-host.
All right, y'all, please be careful out there during the storm. Please make sure you are taking all precautions. Don't be crazy and think that you can ride it out. So please, my Raleigh family and everybody else on the coast, please be careful. So today's field style is being aware of what doesn't work in your life. Like pay attention to the patterns and the habits that do not work. And since we are talking about confessions and conversations all the time on the morning show, so I talk about one of the things that does not work for me. And this causes crazy in my life, but sometimes I get off track. And the important thing is realizing when you get off track, to pay attention to your habits and what you're doing and get back on track. So for those that don't know, so I have GERD, I have acid reflux, horrible problems, and so it affects my voice box, and I have rosacea. So there's a lot of things that I cannot eat, that I cannot have. So what it's easy for me to say what I can't eat. I can eat fruits, I can eat vegetables, I can have water, but I cannot have fried foods, anything white, no pastas, no rices, no breads, nothing fried, no dairy products, no yogurt, and no spicy food, and no red sauces. And so for the past
Really,
2
JoJo?
months, child, really,
You
because if
ate
I
some of
do my
all of
cheat,
that on this weekend.
I know my cheat for the past, it ain't this weekend, it's this past 2 months, 3 months. I have, and I can't have chocolate, I can't have candy, no sodas. And so for the past, I was doing good up until 3 months ago, and I tasted a French fry, and I lost my ever loving mind. And then when I eat those things, my face break out. I mean, all of this turns red. My forehead is red. So I'm constantly scratching my face. So now I'm out of the medicine that I use for my face because I was eating junky. And then it affects my voice. So this past weekend, after I left Six Flags, at Six Flags, I had Panda Express. I had rice and chicken, which is a no-no.
And
And
hot
then I
sauce.
covered it in soy sauce and hot sauce, which is another no-no. And even though I did drink water, I didn't wash it down with a soda. And so when I got home, the girls had made a baked spaghetti, which is pasta, red sauces.
And
Only good thing in that
cheese.
spaghetti was that it was meatless. It wasn't real meat.
Oh, okay.
And I had garlic bread. And I was like, okay. So I ate some of that. And then I had a Coke at work yesterday with the rest of my spaghetti. And when I tell y'all my throat is on 10,000. So when I eat all those things, what it does is it affects my voice where like right now it's killing me to talk, where I can't talk a lot, or it feels like my voice is shaking, and then I have trouble swallowing. It's a whole host of things. But I realized, and then this morning, I'm always having trouble when I wake up. And, I'm always having to stop and pause just to give my throat a break. And I was like, I know what the problem is. 3 months ago, I ate a French fry and I lost my mind. And so I went back to my old eating habits. And because of that, my face has been on 10,000. I've ran out of my antibiotic. I ran out of my face soap, my face medicine, and my voice hurt. All because I wanted to eat some junk food.
Mm.
So, guys, you got to pay attention to the patterns and what's not working for me. And for me to get up and do the morning show every morning, it takes me forever to prep my voice now because I'm not doing what I need to do for it to for it to work correctly.
Right.
So when you notice your habits, if once you become more aware of what your crazy is, once you become more aware of what causes your crazy and you notice it and then you realize this is what you got to do to stop it, you can start paying attention to your pattern to stop that behavior. And me eating those things causes the crazy in my life. And it just doesn't last, through the morning. This lasts all one meal can last me up to two. So eating spaghetti on Sunday made my voice like this. It'll probably be like this until Wednesday or Thursday. So
Oh,
the
wow.
effects of it last a very, very long time. It's not like, it's going to go away. Like last night, I was up to 12 o'clock with heartburn, taking the medicine and nothing works. That's because I've went so long doing that bad habit that when I try to correct it, it's going to take longer for the correction to take place than something quickly. So that's all when it comes into your patterns, guys. Please pay attention to what is not working for you and the things that you have to do to fix and correct that. So that's my confession for today. That is my pattern. So today we are fasting today so that I can give my body a small break and hopefully, help reset it over the next 2 days as I try to get my life all the way together and give up my junk food, because I've been having coffee every morning, knowing I can't have hot drinks. So if I drink tea, it can't be really, really hot. And I've been drinking McDonald's coffee like it's water. So we are fasting for the next 2 days to try to reset this body. But the good thing is, even though I had those results, I also noticed the pattern. And I knew the pattern before 3 months was up. I knew the pattern after 1 week, because
Right.
after 20 minutes into me eating something I have no business, my face is already red. It's already itching. I'm already having trouble swallowing. So I knew the problem, but I was hell bent on eating them French fries and that cheeseburger at McDonald's, washing it down with a Coke, hell bent. And so now I'm paying the price for that. And I just didn't eat it once. I ate it like 3 days in a row, every day suffering the consequences. But what I always say, are you willing to pay the price of crazy, or you want to go with the discipline of freedom? And I know that my voice is my freedom, so I've got to stick with my discipline. So I will say once a year, I act like I lose my mind. And usually it doesn't last this long. It's usually only, a couple of days, usually around Thanksgiving and Christmas, because I'm at my mama's house. And I want to eat all the macaroni, all the cornbread, all the meat. I want to eat it all. And so I just know during those Christmas and Thanksgiving time, my voice is going to be on lockdown, like it's going to ache. But so we're gonna get this all the way together. But today, guys, on this what is this? Take Action Tuesday. So Take Action Tuesday today, pay attention to your patterns and what is working and what is not working. So for me today, that will be fasting with water and juice. And I can't do like cranberry juices because all that has sugar, which has the same effect. So we're going with cold pressed juices and water for the next 2 days. So y'all pray for us, sister. Whew, it's gonna be hard. And we got a party. Somebody's leaving and we got a party this week. And it's Chicago theme, and they gonna have popcorn and cake. Oh Lord, help me, Father God.
You're crazy.
But it's gonna be okay. But guys, I truly want you to pay attention to your patterns, and if they're not working for you, think about what are you gonna do about it. Are you gonna be okay to sit in that crazy and accommodate? Like I've had to accommodate not talking on the phone as much because my voice can't handle it, or when I get home I can't say anything because either I've talked all day at work and my voice hurts so bad I'm writing on paper and pen. Now, my kids are accustomed to it by now. They be like, Ma, what did you eat today? And I be like, nothing. It was like, you can't talk, so you can't even lie. I can't even lie and say it was
Right.
nothing. So don't want to pay. If you don't want to pay the price of your crazy, pay attention to the patterns and then decide on Take Action Tuesday. What are you going to do about it? What is the one thing today that you're going to do about your crazy that's going to help you live past it? And here's another thing as we close out the morning show. I want you to know it is okay to want more. It's okay to want better for yourself, even when those surrounding you don't want better for themselves. It has nothing to do with you, and it has nothing to do with what you want for yourself. So as you making this journey to live past crazy and you're doing this for yourself, just know it's okay to want more. It's okay to want different. And then I would tie this in with finances, because a lot of time people make you feel bad about wanting more money or wanting to live a better life. They just saying that because they see you working towards it and they ain't. That's the
Right.
problem. So guys, don't be afraid to want more. Go on out there, boo. Do you and get more. Because guess what? As you do the work, guess who's going to come back and ask, how did you do that again? because they want more too. They just assume that it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to want more. The good Lord said if he took care of the birds and the fowls there, how much more great pleasure would it give him to take
Okay.
care of you? And if we are kingdom kids and our father is the king, we have certain citizenship rights that are afforded to us. You better start living like you know. I'm just saying. All right, guys, that is it for the Fearless Morning Show. Lynn, anything you want to say as I take a sip of water right there?
Girl, it took everything out of me to not say, when you were talking about that macaroni and cheese and that cornbread, for me not to say, you gonna eat your cornbread? I'm sorry,
I
it
want
took
that
everything
cornbread.
out of me not to say that. But y'all, we thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us this morning. We know your time is your most precious commodity, and you decided to spend those moments with us, and we appreciate you for that. We also have a special webinar that we'll be doing tomorrow night that we want to invite you guys. If you're interested, just go ahead and chime in here in the comments or inbox us your email address. We'll get you the link because we're going to be doing the Love Your Life, Love Your Finances webinar to help you to get moving on some of these things that we talk about. What are the action steps that you need to be taking? Get the questions answered that you won't answer. Maybe you don't have time to get those answered right here on the morning show, but you want to get them answered during the webinar. Bring your questions that you have. We're open to answering your questions about your finances and your life. You have questions about investing, come to the webinar. At the Q&A section of the webinar, that's when you'll be able to get those questions answered if you would like to. Not twisting your arms. Yes, they don't know about that. Not twisting your arms or anything, guys, but this is a free opportunity that we're providing out here because we're serious out here in these streets about helping our communities get to the next. For those who are ready, willing, and able and say, yes, I want to move, then come on, because when I move, you move, just like that. We can do this, right? We can do this. It's just about getting out there, getting in the right community, getting connected with the right people, and making the necessary moves that you need to make. No, it's not going to be easy. No, it's not just going to be a pretty simple thing that you need to do, because if it were, you would have already done it, right? You just didn't know which steps to take. So come and get the steps that you need to take and get moving. I was about to start singing another song, but I started to let it go. I decided to let it go. All right, y'all. Well, that's it for me. And if you're ready to have a separate conversation, you say, well, Lynn, I need to have a conversation with you and I don't want to do it in front of everyone else, then go ahead and schedule. We can do a 15-minute consultation. That's free. bit.ly bit.ly/talk to Lynn. However, if you need longer than that, please know that you will be paying for that consultation. That's also available to you. However, if you're ready to move, guys, we have a free opportunity next week. You have to get started. Your life depends on it. Trust and believe your life depends on it. That's right, Charlene. Let it go. What's her name? Sarah Jake. She did a sermon where she talked about the things you got to release. Y'all, there's some stuff you got to let go in your life and your finances that you can't take it with you. So let it go. Yes, I don't get me started. All right, y'all. Passing it back to you, Miss Co-host.
All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing Tuesday. Don't forget to share the video. Don't forget to watch. If you need to watch us on YouTube, all of our videos are preloaded automatically after the show. So they are available so you can go and share automatically with your friends and family who do not have Facebook, and they are by topic. So you can pick and choose what you want them to watch. So go over there, but make sure you share this video today. If you know somebody needs to live past crazy, make sure you share it, and then tell them to come on over here to the Fearless Morning Show, where we just trying to help a sister and a brother out. That's what it is all about. So I hope you guys have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you here bright and early tomorrow morning at 7:15. Have a good one.
All right, be safe in them streets. Signing off.
Right. Bye.